Hello everybody and welcome back to the Big Joey channel. Today I'm going to be giving you my list of top 5 Guardians or support characters. So right at number 5, I'm going to dive straight into this. It's going to be Ymir. Ymir is probably the safest Guardian to choose if you're not really sure how to play support. Play Ymir. Really simple. So we're going to dive straight into his abilities. His 1, Ice Wall. It's a ground attack. You're just going to summon a wall in front of you. Uses to block off people, block off escapes. Simple as that. His 2, Glacial Strike, is a line ability. Pretty much you're going to drop down a Glacial Strike. It's going to hit everything in front of you. It's also going to apply Slow and Frostbite. You get a 35% slow, really solid ability. His 3, Frost Breath, is going to be a cone ability. And what this is going to do is going to freeze the enemies. So the freeze is going to count as a stun. At max level, you get a 2.25 second stun. So really solid ability. Maybe you could actually freeze a whole team if you time it right. His ultimate is going to be an area attack, Shards of Ice. And what Ymir will do is he will go down into the ground and charge up. After 3 seconds, he will erupt and causing damage to everything in the circle. This also will apply a slow. You could also cancel it at any time to deal damage, but it's going to do decreased damage. And his passive, Frostbite. All his abilities will give a debuff called Frostbite, and pretty much you will do extra damage. And enemies afflicted by it will deal 10% less damage. So really easy ability to hit. All your 3 of your abilities apply Frostbite, and that's going to be Ymir. Number 4 on the list is going to be Sylvanas. Sylvanas is a solid Guardian, solid support, and he's not too hard to get around to use. So right off the bat, his first ability, Verdant Growth, is you're going to throw down a little plant. And what this could do is you could either use it to root enemies, or you could use it to gain MP5. You could also have 3 out at maximum. So what you pretty much play around with this is you drop 1 in your tower to give MP5, and use the other 2 offensively, or however you choose to use them. Second ability, Wisps. It's going to be a ground target. It affects everybody. You're just going to release Wisps that seek out enemies and allies next to you. It's going to heal allies over time or deal damage to enemies over time. Simple as that. And you're going to be gaining protections for 5 seconds. At max level, giving out 30 protections for 5 seconds. His 3, Nature's Grasp, is a pull and a stun. Out of all of his abilities, this would probably be the hardest because it is a little harder to time it right, but it's easier to combo with your 1. If you hit somebody with your 1, it will root them, then you pull them with Nature's Grasp. So that's really the hardest part of Sylvanas, which is not too bad. His 4, Wrath of Terra. It's a ground attack that will knock up enemies. Pretty much, you're going to slam your trees down, knocking up everybody around you, and it's going to deal tick damage. And his passive. Enemies that successfully land a melee basic attack on Sylvanas have a 25% chance to be rooted for 1 second. So pretty much, you're getting hit. There's a good chance that within those 4 autos, they're going to get rooted. Give you time to set up, maybe root them again with growth, or escape. However you want to play Sylvanas. Number 3 on the list is going to go to Ganesha. And the reason Ganesh is the newest Guardian to come out, and he's a pretty simple Guardian to use at that. So his 1 ability right off the bat is going to be a line attack. So you pretty much, if you hit an ally with it, you're going to give them a bonus damage stack. So really simple to use. His 2, Ohm, is going to be a silence and protection. So what you do is you're going to go into a state of ohming or chanting, and you're going to silence whatever god in front of you in a cone. It's also going to give protections for all nearby allied gods. Simple as that. 3, Remove Obstacles. It's going to be a dash ability, and if you could dash through deployables. So say Ymir drops a wall in front of you, you could actually dash straight through them, and you will be knocking up enemies. Really easy to use. You could escape from Ymir walls, or you can engage through Ymir walls, all of that. His ultimate, Dharmic Pillars, is you're going to set down a small arena, essentially. So you're going to trap enemies inside the arena. They're going to take damage if they pass through it. So they have to really decide if they want to stay in and get attacked by whoever goes into it, because it does not affect allies, or they want to escape and take the damage. It also applies a slow and a protection reduction if they pass through it. And his passive, Good Fortune, essentially, when you deal a killing blow, it will give the kill to a nearby god. So you will get an assist, and you will give the kill to an allied god. Also, it is possible to get kills as Ganesha. If you're alone and say you defeat an enemy god, you will get the kill for it. But it also ensures that you won't be stealing your carry's kills. Number 2 on the list is going to be going to Fafnir. So Fafnir, right off the bat, we're going to go straight into his 1 Curse Strength. It's a projectile. You throw it out, and it's going to deal damage to whoever's in front of you. It's also going to count as a slow. So you get a 40% slow at max level. Great to have. It's also going to stun for 1.5 seconds. So it's really good for signaling out targets. Simple ability. The second, Coerce. It's a buff, or you can use it on yourself. So you can use it on allies, and what it's going to do is going to give them the attack speed boost. It's going to give them bonus damage, and you're going to get a self-heal out of it. I believe this ability also procs Soul Reaver. So if you're building a Soul Reaver, it's going to proc that. His 3 underhanded tactics is going to be a leap. So pretty much you're going to leap and slam down your hammer. It's also going to count as a disarm. So simple as that. You could jump over and backline people, disarm them, and then hit them with your 1 to stun them. All of that. And now we go into his ultimate Draconic Corruption. What essentially this is you're going to turn into a dragon. And this is going to give each ability a new effect. So once you become a dragon, essentially it's just going to increase the damage you do in your 1. The 2 is going to have a wider range and could affect multiple allies instead of 1. His 3 is going to be able to go farther. And we're going to dive into his passive. You're going to be gaining 2 bonus gold from all enemy kills and assists, including minions. So it helps you farm better. You're also going to get protections based on how much gold you have, which caps out at 1,000. So you gain up to 20 protections at 1,000 gold. So it's going to be magical and physical protections. So that's going to be number 2, Fafnir. And number 1, we're going to be giving that spot to Athena. So for Athena, a really, really great pick. Easy to use. So we're going to go straight into her 1, which is Preemptive Strike. It's just going to be a dash. You can go straight through enemies. That's pretty much it. Her 2, Confound, is a taunt. You're going to pull enemies towards you. At max level, you get a 2-second taunt. You get a 2-second pull, essentially. Her 3, Shield of Walls. So what her 3 is she's going to drop down a Shield of Wall soldiers. And initially, it will do 60 damage plus 50% of your magical power on contact. But it's also going to do 80 damage plus another 50% of your magical power after 2 seconds. So the way you want to combo this is you're going to drop your 3, pull them into it while you're going to drop it on an enemy, let them walk out, pull them into it so they get the full damage. And now for her ultimate, which really encompasses Athena, is Defender of Olympus. So what this ultimate does, it lets you teleport to any ally on the map that is alive. So you're going to channel to them, and you're going to give them a 20% mitigation. So say you have somebody who's overextended, you could ult onto them and peel them. It's easy to peel off enemies with Athena. Really useful. Solid pick. Gives you global pressure. You could easily go to any point on the map as long as there is an ally there. And her passive, Reach. After you use an ability, your next basic attack is a ranged attack. So pretty much after you use any ability, you will throw your spear. So that's going to be number 1 on the list. Honorable mentions, going to be Khepri. And the only reason Khepri doesn't go onto the list is just because he does take a little bit more skill to use just because of his ultimate. So with his 1, it's a dash. You could dash through enemies. You're going to pull an enemy. It's going to silence them. Simple as that. His 2 is a line ability. You're going to hit and debuff anything in the range. And if you hit an ally, they're going to take reduced damage, up to 30% at max level. His 3 solar flare is going to be a ground attack. It deals damage and will root enemies in the area. And his ultimate, Scarab's Blessing, is you're going to apply a buff to an ally, and they die, they will be revived and pulled straight to you. This buff can also be used to help allies get away, or help yourself get away, because at max level you can get 40% movement speed. The reason he's not on the list of the top 5 Guardians is just because that takes a bit of skill to get down, because sometimes you could use it and your ally not die. So it's really, he takes a lot of skill to get down when to use the ult. Because a lot of enemies are smart enough to know when an enemy has the ult on them to not attack them. And it just defeats the purpose of using it. So you just burned your ult and your teammate still got killed. So that's how come Khepri's off the list. And for his passive, his Fortitude, every 5 seconds, Khepri applies a shield to himself and nearby gods for 2% of the target's maximum health for 15 seconds. The rate is slowed for 2 every 10 seconds while out of combat. Max is 10%. So max, you could stack it 5 times. So you can have a shield of 10% of your health. And the other honorable mention is going to be Geb. Geb also pretty much suffers from the same thing that Khepri does, because he takes a little bit more skill to use with one of his certain abilities, which could be life or death. So Geb's 1 is simple. It's roll out. He rolls into a giant rock. The way his works, though, is after 3 seconds, he gets CC immune at his top speed. So he can be taken out of his ability within the early seconds, but once he fully rolls up, he will have CC immunity and will also knock back an enemy god if you choose to hit somebody, and that's going to give them a 30% slow. His second ability is going to be Shockwave. Pretty much simple. It's going to be a cone ability. Boom. You're going to hit anything in front of you. It's going to knock them up a little bit. Simple as that. His 3 stone shield is what makes Geb a little harder to use. His stone shield is going to give your allies a shield of 250 at max level, plus get 20 per Geb's level. And it's going to cleanse any crowd control. The hard part about that is also getting the timing. If you use it too early, they could still be affected by crowd control. Also, if you use it too late, well, they died. So getting timing down is what makes Geb a little harder to use. And his ultimate Cataclysm is a ground target effect. So you're just going to bring up the earth around you and going to deal damage based on health. So you cannot kill enemies with Geb's ultimate, but you can take a large chunk, and it's also going to stun them. So at max level, you're going to take off 30% of a target's health and stun them for 2 seconds. Great for engaging if you're using a blink. And his passive, which also makes it really useful, hard as a rock. Critical attacks only do 25% damage to Geb rather than the normal plus 100. So it also going to reduce what auto-based hunters could do to you in teams fights. So that is going to be it for this list of top 5 supports. As always, I hope this list helps you out. And, I put these lists out here to really help people that want to get into Conquest. And if you like these videos, show support by liking the videos, leaving comments, subscribing, telling your friends. If I missed any supports and you don't agree with me, leave them in the comment. And as always, thank you for watching the video. And this is going to be Big Joey signing off.